mentally, but continues to walk him down. I don't know if it's going to be the right game plan long haul, but the interesting thing to me is,
if I'm honest, and I think we should focus our attention towards the Tank fight. You know, I think that's the biggest fight in American boxing.
I hope one day seeing Shakur against Tank.
Okay, yeah, you and Canelo Alvarez were not on the same page last year. Now you are.
Shakur Stevenson's defense of his World Boxing Council WBC lightweight title against Floyd Schofield has hit a major hurdle. Schofield, the challenger for the lightweight title, is reportedly no longer scheduled to fight Stevenson this Saturday. This news was first reported by Ring magazine after Schofield's surprising absence from the Grand Arrivals event in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on Tuesday. Adding to the confusion, Schofield's father, who also serves as his trainer, made an unusual claim that quickly caught the attention of Stevenson's co-manager, sparking a strong response.
He made a mistake. He's a good young fighter, hungry fighter, but I hope he still take the fight. I mean, I'm kind of worried because he's not here. I was kind of excited to see him.
Do you have a message for him? Because I'm sure.
And it appears Davis' confidence is growing by the second.
feints and baits him out of position.
With this sudden change, Shakur Stevenson now faces a tough decision about finding a suitable replacement opponent. He needs to pick someone who's well-known, as a win over a lesser-known fighter wouldn't be as impressive. On the other hand, choosing a tougher opponent comes with the risk that Shakur may not be fully prepared. Striking the right balance is key. This is especially important as Shakur is aiming to secure bigger matchups in the future. He's been heavily linked to a potential fight against Devin Haney, which could be a major unification bout. Meanwhile, Tank Davis is set to fight Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st to defend his WBA lightweight title. Haney has already stated that he plans to retire this year, with just 3 more fights left in his career. He'll be looking for the most lucrative bouts before he hangs up his gloves.
Fighters, and you know, like I said, Saturday first, and then we'll go from there.
Just one on that, on the Tank fight. Are you confident that one can be delivered? Because I know Tank's had
a fight against Shakur Stevenson is definitely one of the top matchups, even though Shakur's style may not be the most popular with the crossover fan base. Eddie Hearn believes he can make this fight happen as long as everyone involved has realistic expectations. However, it all depends on whether Shakur gets through his next fight, which is still up in the air due to uncertainty over who his opponent will be. If everyone stays sensible, what other big fights are there for Tank Davis? Devin Haney has a good match coming up against Lamont Roach, but Tank is looking for huge fights to make big money. Hearn believes the biggest fight out there for Tank is against Shakur, and the feeling is mutual. The 27-year-old Stevenson is also eyeing a potential showdown with Tank. However, before that can happen, Shakur must first find a new opponent for his WBC lightweight title defense, which is still scheduled for this Saturday. It will be part of the undercard for the highly anticipated rematch between Bivol-Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol.
with Turki Alalshikh, shall we say. Are you confident it can be delivered, Tank versus Shakur?
Everyone's sensible. I mean, what other fights are there out for Tank? You know, he's fighting
mentally, but continues to walk him down. I don't know if it's going to be the right game plan long haul, but the interesting thing...
Shakur Stevenson is confident that a long-awaited unification fight between him and Tank Davis will eventually happen, despite Tank's plans to retire by the end of the year. It's going to happen, the Newark native said. Tank said I was on his list, so I hope he keeps his word and makes this fight happen. Tank Davis has a match against Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st at the famous Barclays Center in New York, which makes his return to the ring feel even more real. Fans are eagerly waiting to see what Tank's next move will be after the Roach fight. There are a number of fighters ready to challenge the undefeated champion in what promises to be some exciting matchups.
It's a super featherweight that Tank will want to be in big fights. He'll want to make big money, and I think the biggest fight out there for him
mentally, but continues to walk him down. I don't know if it's going to be the right game plan long haul, but the interesting thing...
Shakur Stevenson's potential future opponent Tank Davis may be headed to Saudi Arabia soon. Alal Shik, the head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, has expressed interest in bringing Davis into their plans to host some of the biggest fights in boxing. Recently, ESPN's Mike Coppinger had an exclusive interview with Shik, which was later shared by Ring magazine on Instagram. In the interview, Shik talked about the possibility of organizing a showdown between Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. I hope one day to see Shakur against Tank, he said. This statement was surprising to Shakur given Shik's rocky relationship with Davis. Fans will remember how Davis went on a public rant online after not being invited to the Ring Magazine Awards event in London last month, which added more drama to their already tense relationship.
Gervonta Davis Shakur Stevenson.
I want him, and I send message now from you to Heyman.
Given the history between Alal Shik and Tank Davis, Shik's decision to extend an invitation to Davis was a bit unexpected. This prompted Mike Coppinger to ask, last year you and Canelo Alvarez weren't exactly on the same page, so now you're inviting Tank Davis? Schick responded calmly, I don't take anything personally. I'm a professional. I don't need to like you to work with you. Coppinger, still surprised, followed up by asking, so you do appreciate Tank Davis's skills? To this, Schick answered in a calm and collected manner, confirming his respect for Davis's talent.
Gervonta Davis Shakur Stevenson.
I want him, and I send message now from you to Heyman.
He's come out as a lefty and chosen to fight a power fight. That fascinates me.
Alal Shik acknowledged that Tank Davis is undeniably a great fighter, but he emphasized the need to see him in more high-profile matchups. The Saudi royal seems to keep his personal feelings aside for the benefit of the sport, though he doesn't shy away from addressing the ongoing questions about Davis's career. When will Davis face someone who can truly challenge him? Perhaps it's time for him to move up in weight and take on a bigger opponent before his retirement. The biggest fight in the world might be exactly what Davis's fans are hoping for, seeing him reach his full potential. With a perfect 30-0 record, the hard-hitting fighter from Baltimore is undoubtedly talented, but the question remains, when will he face a true test?
I don't need to like you to talk with you.
But you appreciate Gervonta Davis's talent, it seems.
As a fighter, he's a great fighter, of course.
Uppercut on the inside and then to the body. Davis opening up on Pedraza.
Interestingly, Alal Shik isn't the only one pushing for a showdown between Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Boxing legend Mike Tyson has also been a strong supporter of the fight and has even picked his favorite. While Davis remains a hot topic in the boxing world, all eyes are currently on the upcoming fight between Shakur Stevenson and an opponent he will finalize soon, scheduled for February 22nd. However, Stevenson isn't just focused on defending his World Boxing Council WBC lightweight title, he's aiming for something bigger, facing Tank Davis. At the Ring Magazine Awards Gala in London, Shakur boldly called a potential fight with Davis the biggest fight in the world. In a later interview with Dave Sonny from Queensberry Promotions, Stevenson expressed frustration over Davis's mixed signals regarding a fight between them.
We'll be watching somewhere.
Don't get butterflies and pull out the fight, Floyd. I know it's a hard time. I know you're dealing with a lot, but just show up.
You've been tweeting about beating on him. You've been tweeting about vintage.
Even though Shakur Stevenson believes that a potential fight with Tank Davis is the biggest matchup in boxing right now, he's questioning whether Davis truly wants it. Shakur recalled seeing interviews where Davis said he was coming for him, that he was on his list, but then turned around and asked, "What has Shakur done for boxing? Who is he?" Shakur described this as very bipolar behavior. Just a few months ago, during a conversation with Mace and Cameron Giles on their podcast, Davis had similar mixed messages. Boxing legend Mike Tyson weighed in, explaining that Davis's aggressive style would be a perfect challenge for Stevenson and would bring out the best in him.
The main focus in training camp, I mean, how was your sparring and everything preparing for such a stick boxer like Shakur?
Wow, that's a great fight. I'd go with Tank. Everyone's going to pick Tank, but it would definitely be an interesting fight, Mike Tyson said, when asked about a potential showdown between Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. However, Tyson didn't overlook Shakur's skills. On the same podcast, he commented, "Shakur can take a good punch. He's a specialist, which is why there are times when he doesn't look that exciting. He's so good that it can get boring to watch, but he knows exactly what he's doing." Tyson believes the key to bringing out the best in Shakur is to pressure him, like Tank does, which could lead to a thrilling fight. With Alal Shik, the head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, now pushing for this fight and Mike Tyson lending his support, it's clear that the world is eager to see Tank Davis step up and make this highly anticipated matchup a reality.
Mike, who will win out of Shakur and Gervonta?
Gervonta Davis?
Yeah.
I like to go with Tank. You know, everyone's gonna go with Tank, you know. It would be a very interesting fight. Shakur takes a good shot, though. He's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in, because he's so superior.
Davis's punches. Yeah, glanced off the forehead.
The 22-year-old Floyd Schofield, seen as a heavy underdog against three-division champion Shakur Stevenson, was the only boxer on the main card at the Kingdom Arena who missed the pre-fight events. This raised concerns about his health and weight as he prepared for the biggest fight of his young career. A post on Scofield's Instagram, which is believed to be managed by his father and trainer, made shocking accusations. The now-deleted post, released shortly before noon ET on Tuesday, claimed that they poisoned my son and suggested that a masseuse from Stevenson's team had rubbed a cream on Schofield. This led to a quick response from Stevenson's co-manager Josh Dubin, who told Boxing Scene on Tuesday, "This fighter, Schofield, should get advised on the defamation laws in our country."
The main focus in training camp, how was your sparring and everything, preparing for such a slick boxer like Shakur?
Josh Dubin made it clear that making false claims about Shakur Stevenson would not go unchallenged. He stated that accusing Stevenson's team of poisoning Schofield would have legal consequences. "These slanderous remarks won't be ignored," Dubin said. "If Schofield's father is trying to make an excuse for his son not fighting, it's not going to fly." Dubin spoke out just minutes before news broke that Schofield had withdrawn from the fight. He added, "We will not tolerate these lies, and either the Schofields or someone representing them needs to publicly apologize now." Meanwhile, officials in Saudi Arabia have yet to confirm if a replacement fighter will be found to take on Stevenson on the stacked card, which also includes heavyweight, light heavyweight, and middleweight title fights.
This came up like the most sparring that I got. That's my coach show. It's the sparring, everything.
So Davis with plenty of time left here, not even midway through this first round.
Floyd Schofield appeared upbeat and in good spirits on Monday while speaking with the media. During an interview with Fight Hub, he called Shakur Stevenson a diva and jokingly said that his 4-month-old son is more of a man than Stevenson. Attempts to reach representatives from Golden Boy Promotions who managed Schofield for a response went unanswered. Eddie Hearn, whose Matchroom Boxing company represents Stevenson, offered a less dramatic explanation for Schofield's absence. He suggested that the issue could be related to a mandatory weight check from the British Boxing Board of Control, which is overseeing this event. Hearn pointed out that early weight checks have caught some American fighters off guard. Now all of a sudden you have a fighter like Floyd Schofield who has to make weight tomorrow, and he might need to focus on training tonight, Hearn said.
Very good quality, so ready to go.
Floyd Schofield seemed to avoid attending the Grand Arrivals event, with many speculating that he was focused on preparing for his weight check the next day. Eddie Hearn explained that Schofield was likely skipping the event to focus on making weight. This wasn't the first time Schofield had missed a public appearance ahead of his fight with fellow New Jersey native Shakur Stevenson. Schofield had also been absent from a press conference in London last month, which led Stevenson to suggest that Schofield might pull out of the fight altogether.
Obviously, you're the younger guy, the underdog. Obviously, most people expecting him to probably get the win. Do you think a lot of the pressure's on
Davis? That's his nickname, Tank.
Another good strong left hand.
Shakur Stevenson didn't mention Floyd Schofield's absence at the Grand Arrivals event, instead focusing on his own excitement about fighting outside of the U.S. for the first time as a professional. "I'm ready to show the world that I'm a superstar," Stevenson said. "I believe I'm one of the best fighters in boxing, and on February 22nd, the world will see that. They can expect the best fighter to show up, and that's exactly what I'm going to do."
This experience. I'm ready to capture the moment. I'm focused. I put in a great training camp, and it's my time.
Last year was a tough year for you, just one fight at the hand.
Shakur Stevenson has faced a series of setbacks in his debut with Matchroom Boxing. Initially, he was supposed to fight Joe Cordina last year, but an injury to his hand forced the fight to be canceled. After undergoing surgery, Shakur was set to face his World Boxing Council mandatory challenger, William Zepeda, but Zepeda also pulled out due to a hand injury. Floyd Schofield, who entered the fight with an undefeated 18-0 record, was given the chance to fight for his first world title. However, the British Boxing Board of Control has now confirmed that Schofield has withdrawn from the fight due to an illness.
How eager are you to get your career back on track?
I'm ready to show the world I'm a superstar. I think I'm one of the best fighters in the sport of boxing, and the world will know February 22nd.
Can right out of the box. Very strong, another good
The Ring has reported that World Boxing Council lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson is now looking for a late replacement opponent after Floyd Schofield fell ill and was pulled from the fight by the British Boxing Board of Control. Sources say two possible replacements for Schofield are Musa Golem and Josh Padley. This news comes just days before the highly anticipated event in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which features a number of world title fights, including Bivol-Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. However, with the cancellation of the Stevenson-Scofield bout, one of the key matches on the card is now off. Schofield, 22, had initially arrived in Saudi Arabia and participated in media duties on Monday, but by Tuesday, he had disappeared and was not seen at the Grand Arrivals event.
What do you think people can expect on Saturday?
You said what?
What do you think people can expect on Saturday?
They can expect the best fighter to show out. That's what I'm gonna do.
Good luck, Shakur.
Gotcha.
A strange theory has been circulating online, suggesting that Floyd Schofield, the lightweight challenger, may have been poisoned. Leaked messages, reportedly from Schofield's father, Floyd Schofield Sr., claimed that his son was spiked. A text sent to Schofield Sr. was shared online, stating, "This isn't something to take lightly, Sr. I'm not trying to play any games. I got love for y'all, and I'm looking out. But they spiked your son." In the wake of this, matchmakers are now reportedly looking for a new opponent for Shakur Stevenson to face during the event.
And vice versa.
Obviously, you got Beterbiev, Bivol, your man Dimitri, looking to right the wrongs of last time in a very close fight. He said to me he can't get this feeling out of his head, he can't stop thinking about that loss. Does that give you more confidence? Because when something's like stuck inside you
left here, not even midway through this first round.
The upcoming fight card is shaping up to be one of the most exciting of all time, featuring big names like Daniel Dubois, Joseph Parker, and Callum Smith. However, the spotlight will be on the rematch between the Russian fighters Bivol and Beterbiev for the undisputed World Light Heavyweight Championship. Earlier this year, Beterbiev became the first undisputed champion in the division since 2002. The two fighters put on an incredible performance in October, with Beterbiev narrowly claiming victory. However, there was a lot of controversy when the judges' scores were announced. One judge had the fight even at 1-1-4, 1-1-4, and another scored it 1-1-5, 1-1-3 in favor of Beterbiev. But the biggest outrage came when Judge Pavel Kardini gave Beterbiev a 1-1-6-1-1-2 win, sparking a lot of criticism from Bivol's camp.
Like that, it's something you want to right the wrong of.
Dimitri's a winner, you know, he's a perfectionist. It's the first time he suffered defeat. We feel like he should have won the fight. It's over now. It's going to be a very tough night's work for him again on Saturday.
Left-hander, heavy-handed, as you said.
Promoter Eddie Hearn called the situation an absolute joke, claiming that his fighter, who had never been beaten before, was robbed of a fair decision. Despite the controversy, he suggested that Beterbiev would have won even if the judge had given a closer score. Bivol's manager, Vadim Kornilov, expressed his frustration, saying, "We are filing a protest on Monday." He added that judges should be held accountable for their actions, and the situation was becoming harmful to the sport. Kornilov criticized the relationships between the judges and the organizations overseeing the fights, pointing out that supervisors and judges seem too friendly with one another, which is making it appear like a scheme.
Eddie, and I believe he'll win again on Saturday. But I feel like, you know, it's just got to go his way. You know it's going to be a close fight. They're two unbelievable fighters, but...
Shakur Stevenson, the current World Boxing Council lightweight champion, is facing an unexpected challenge. Tank Davis, his potential rival, recently revealed that he plans to retire from boxing at the end of this year. Fans, along with boxing analyst Malik Nagy, are hoping that Davis will make the most of his final year in the sport. Meanwhile, Stevenson's perspective on Davis's retirement plans seems to be evolving.
But you know what? You would give it a Nile River crocodile or alligator, and when I confuse alligators and crocodiles, but whatever. Give it a Nile River alligator and a pipe.
Fights have lasted less than a round. Strong right.
In December, the WBA lightweight champion Tank Davis shocked fans when he announced that he plans to retire from boxing after 2025. He cited frustrations with the politics of the sport as one of the main reasons for his decision. Davis confirmed that he will retire after his next fight, scheduled for March 1st, 2025, at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. During this fight, he will defend his WBA lightweight title against Lamont Roach Jr. Originally set for December in Houston, the fight was postponed for undisclosed reasons. This upcoming bout could serve as Davis's final opportunity to solidify his legacy in the lightweight division before stepping away from the sport.
Done. All right, bro, you know what? You got me interested. You're like, all right, bro, let's see who wins this. You know what I mean? They fight, you know, obviously we're not fighting to the death in boxing, but nonetheless, intrigue me.
Gervonta Tank Davis's decision to retire at the height of his career has certainly made waves in the boxing world, sparking a wide range of reactions. While some people have criticized him for stepping away while he's still at the top, Davis remains one of the most captivating and talked about fighters in the sport. Known for his aggressive fighting style and knockout power, He's earned a spot among the sport's elite. As his retirement draws near, people will undoubtedly be discussing the legacy he's going to leave behind. His decision has left fans and analysts eagerly debating what his future holds and what impact he'll have on the sport in the years to come. As Davis himself puts it, he's not in the business of chasing people around.
I ain't into chasing people around. I mean, if he's willing to fight, I'm ready to fight, and I think it should happen, but I ain't gonna lie, I can't sit there and chase you and then...
Imagine making this fight easier for Davis by staying right there. Yeah, he's testing the young man. Maybe...
Shakur Stevenson made it clear that if Gervonta Davis is open to fighting, he's ready to step into the ring. However, he also made it known that he's not interested in chasing someone down. Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Stevenson expressed his frustration with Davis's decision to retire. He said, "I think it's soft, but that's his choice." Stevenson emphasized that if Davis wants to retire with his career as it is, that's fine, but he won't chase after it. He added that Davis shouldn't make it seem like he needs him. Stevenson doesn't need that fight to prove himself. If Davis retires without facing Stevenson, boxing fans will miss out on one of the most anticipated lightweight matchups in years.
Very skilled and also very experienced at this point now. He's fought and seen pretty much every style there is, and his power is.
Paulie Malignaggi shared his frustration with Gervonta Davis's choice of opponents, specifically criticizing his upcoming fight against Lamont Roach. Roach, a super featherweight champion, will be moving up a weight class to take on Davis in March. Malignaggi said that if Roach had defended his title multiple times at 135 pounds, he'd be more interested. But instead, it feels like Davis is just recycling the same fighters. Malignaggi's comments highlight his disappointment with the direction of Davis's matchups. For the latest updates on all things boxing, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our high-quality content. Until next time, take care.